Hi, I'm Natalie Huschek, and this is our podcast, Turning Trauma into Triumph. Thanks for joining us today. We have an amazing guest named Angela. She's a former barista of mine, and I think you're going to be amazed at the life that she started from in childhood, the extreme abandonment, but what she has achieved today. So hang with us. Be sure to subscribe and watch all the way through to the end, and you're going to love this. Hi, I'm Natalie Huschek, founder of Well Grounded Coffee, and we're here at the coffee shop for another episode of Turning Trauma into Triumph. And I want to introduce you to my amazing friend, Angela. And Angela was our very third hire in the history of Well Grounded Coffee. And gosh, we're going to talk about all the things that have happened since then. That was almost 5 years ago, right?
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So we'll definitely get to that and all the success that you're experiencing now. But just starting off, I kind of want to go back and share a little bit with us about your childhood and kind of what that looked like.
Okay. So my childhood started off, I guess you could say, with rejection from my birth mom. She didn't really want my brothers and myself. She wasn't ready to be a mom. So from the beginning, there was that rejection. So when her and my dad, they were married when they split up, she kept us at first, and she just would leave us at home alone a lot. I was only a toddler. My brother was a baby.
So you were older.
I would say between 2 and 3.
Okay.
And I remember she would leave us at home alone, and my brother he was a baby, and he'd be crying in the crib, and I would just be staring at him, just hopeless of what to do. So she'd leave us at home a lot. And then my dad finally was able to get custody of us, and he raised us. Mm-hmm. We went through a couple stepmoms that they didn't want us either, so they were pretty verbally and emotionally abusive to me and my younger brother. The stepmom that we had the longest for about 12 years, through the time I was 5 through graduation, she was very emotionally abusive to me. She had 2 of her own. She had 3 children, 2 daughters, and I was in the middle of the ages of them. And gotcha. She constantly was comparing me to them and telling me I wasn't as pretty as them, I wasn't as smart as them, as good as them. And she took me from being a very small, petite child and kept feeding me. And then one day, all of a sudden, I was just too fat. And so from then on in my life, all anyone talked about when they talked about me was my weight. And so I soon attributed my self-worth to what I looked like. Mm-hmm. So she was always telling me that nobody would love me. Nobody loved fat people. Nobody loved fat girls. Men would never love me because I was fat. They would only use me for sex or whatnot. So that just stuck with me. That I even to this day I struggle with my self-worth not being associated with what I look like, like my body image. So that's been something that I've had to overcome even as an adult. I think that, my dad wasn't around a lot because we had 6 kids. There were 6 kids in the house, and so he was a workaholic. He had to work real hard. She stayed home.
But your dad was a safe and kind person.
Yes, my dad was the best man there was. So he worked a lot. He was never home. He didn't really know what was going on in the home because I never told my dad none of these things. I never told him how I felt. But I loved my dad. Like, my dad was like
your person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love my dad a lot.
And then when did you move out?
As soon as I graduated so our family split up right as I was in high school. There was a big, huge fight in the family amongst the kids, amongst her youngest son and my dad. They got in a fight one day, and it split the family, and so they got a divorce. And I remember when that happened, it just kind of like shattered my dreams of an ideal family. Like, I was like, if my dad can't make it work, if my dad, like my dad's this great guy, and if he can't make a family work, then like there's just like no hope for me,
So there was no sense of relief, like like this woman who was unkind to you is gone. You didn't feel a relief?
I felt a lack of hope for like it just honestly not no. Mm-mm. Because at that point I was already used to that. Mm-hmm. At that point when the family split up, it kind of was like a letdown to me, like like hopeless, like is there like will we ever have, like it was just kind of, I felt hopeless, like for a family, for me ever finding, like if my dad can't find somebody, like if my dad can't find someone and we can't have a happy family, like how am I ever going to find anybody? Because to me, in my eyes, my dad was like perfect. He was like my hero. Yeah. And if my dad can't find someone and make it work, like how in the world am I ever going to? Mm-hmm. So, and I felt so bad for my dad, because here he is going through this again. And like my dad like gave everything to this family. Yeah. He worked so hard. He would get up at 4 in the morning, because we had a family business. He'd get up at 4 in the morning and leave for work. Yeah. And he wouldn't come home until it was sundown, and he'd be almost maybe midnight before he'd get to bed, and he was up the next day. So he worked so hard for this family. Yeah. And he gave everything to our family, and like he provided everything for our family, and then they just turned their backs on him like that.
So there you are, you have this loss of hope.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then I was graduating, like I felt like I just wanted to get away, to escape. Yeah. So.
And you did.
I did. I moved to California.
With some guy?
No, with my best friend who was 21.
Okay.
We just moved. We just packed up our car. My dad tried to get me to stay.
Here.
he's like, I will buy you a brand new car, whatever car you want, if you don't go. And I was like, sorry, Dad, I'm going.
Just felt crushed. Yeah. Your heart felt crushed.
Yeah. I just wanted to get away and be free.
And at that point, what did your partying look like?
I had just started. So I had lived we were Mormon. I was raised Mormon, and it was a very strict religion. I had just recently started cussing, so I was like this good kid that never did anything wrong. I just barely, that my senior year, started drinking, and that's really when I started drinking and smoking weed. When I was a senior in high school, I was on the honor roll and everything, and that year was when my family split up, was when my grades started slipping. I almost didn't graduate. They kicked me out of the honor roll. And that's when it all started.
And then you took off to California, and what happened in California?
I was like, nobody's here to see what I'm doing. I can do whatever I want.
Right.
And no one can see me. So I, partied, and that's when I got pregnant with my first daughter, with my only daughter, but my first child. And I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, I'm pregnant. And he immediately was like, okay. He's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I want to come home. Can I come home? And he was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So my dad drove up there, packed me up, and brought me back home. At this time, he was remarried. And she was like, if you bring your daughter home, I'm out of here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's like, well, then I guess you're leaving. So,
oh, gosh.
So she divorced him because he brought me back home.
Incredible. And I'm sure that just brought a mix of emotions. Like, you're happy that your dad stuck up for you.
Yeah.
But here's another woman that's rejecting you.
Yeah. I felt bad for my dad again. Yeah. Like, my poor dad. Like, I felt really bad for him. Like.
So then it's just the three of you?
So then it was me and my dad and my younger brother. But, he's in and out of trouble. But he was a senior in high school at the time. Yeah. And then we moved to Idaho. I got back in the church. I was doing well. I wasn't doing any drinking or anything. And then after we were in Idaho, my dad went to law school, and that's where he was going to school. He's like, you want to come to Idaho? I was like, sure. Before we went to Idaho, I reconnected with my birth mom. Tried to, because I'm a mom again, and I needed a little bit, wanted a little bit of advice, maybe a little help, try to reconnect. She's like, come live with me in Arizona. So I'm like, okay.
Really?
So I tried it out. Did not work. She's very selfish. Because I have a mixed race child, she just had a lot of, she's pretty racist, and she just had a lot of negative things to say and just made comments and, you know, like her hair, you know, just had a lot of comments to say, and she kind of treated me like I was her maid, you know, like I could stay there. I was going to school and I had to cook and clean for them, you know. I just didn't really feel like her child. Like, she didn't raise me, and I was trying to reconnect with her and build a relationship, but I didn't feel that way.
Right.
And so I lived with her for about 6 months, and then my dad was like, I'm moving to Idaho. Do you want to come to Idaho with me? And I was like, please, yes, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
So then we moved to Idaho. He went to school. I lived there for a couple years on my own. And then I decided to move back to New Mexico, and that's where I met my ex-husband.
Okay.
And my daughter was about kindergarten age then. And then that's when I got into a relationship with my ex-husband. And things were great for, you know, the first couple years. And then we got married. We got married in 2006. And, you know.
Had Jacob?
No.
Not
that's
yet?
when things got, you know, pretty abusive.
Or I mean Lucas.
We had Lucas first. But
Lucas.
things got real abusive with him. And he became, he was doing drugs. When I first met him, I didn't know he was doing drugs. I was really naive to that kind of world as far as hard drugs. I knew about weed and all that and drinking, but I didn't know about the world of hard drugs. So I didn't realize that that's what he was doing for a while. And then I knew about it, and he was like the middleman, you know. All his friends would be like, oh, let's go do drugs, whatever. And he would get their money and then go and buy it. And then, you know, and I'm like, that's so dumb. Why would you do that? Why don't you just be the one that they come and buy the drugs from? Because every time that you're the middleman and going and doing this, that's that many more times that you could get caught. So that seems like really dumb. Why don't you just be the one to have it? Just don't tell nobody. Pretend you're going and getting it, you know, and then.
You helped him come up with the plan.
I did.
A better plan.
I really did. So I like kind of okayed the plan for him to become a dealer. And like, you know, everybody wanted to be around us because we were fun and like we had everything, and then it slowly turned into started getting really abusive towards me, and I didn't want to be around him. But I started doing drugs because I might as well. This is the life we're living in. This is what he's doing, and I might as well join him because it was a way to cope with what I was going through. Like I couldn't be sober and live through this.
Were you losing hope again? Like you thought you had something and it's slipping away?
Like he's a narcissist, and he was very controlling and very, very strong. He had this energy. When he walked into a room, you felt his presence, and if he was in a bad mood, so was the entire room. Like he had a way of changing the entire room's presence. Like, so like if you can't beat him, might as well join him. That was how I felt. Like I might as well just start doing what we're doing. Like I every single day, like I'd wake up and I'd roll 3, 4, 5 blunts. I'd have them all ready for me. We had whatever alcohol we wanted to have, whatever I wanted. So I would make my drinks, and like that was my life every day. I had my Colorado Bulldogs. Like that was how I lived every day. Like that was normal.
And then the boys,
I hadn't had Lucas yet. Like this was just with his, I helped him get custody of his 3 children. So we had 4 kids at the time. I had Lexus and his 3 kids. So we were raising 4 kids, and I had them. They were in school sports. I had them in everything. Like I just was a functioning drug addict. I was a functioning party addict. Like that's how it was. And then I had a best friend who came and lived with us, and who was like our nanny. So we had like a live-in nanny too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you had plenty of money.
We had plenty of money. We had like probably 12 vehicles that were all bought and paid for. I lived the life like in a small town. Like that's what we were doing. It was a small town. I'd say it was about.
So when did this all start breaking down?
When I got so in the meantime, I got my massage therapy license. Things I probably can't. There's still things I really don't want to talk about because you know, for things we were under investigation for certain things. But because I had my massage therapy, I was able to prove income. I mean, like, so we went through a lot. I went through a lot. And then I got pregnant with Lucas. The abuse was really, really bad to where the neighbors started calling on us. The cops were over a lot.
But you still didn't, like, you weren't formulating a plan to get out.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Oh, you were?
Okay, I was. I would have, I started putting money away. I started, like, I would have to hide my, because he would take my ID. He would dismantle all the cars, so I couldn't, so I couldn't leave. Take my ID. He had to have the money, the access to everything. So yeah, I would have a safe, like I had a, but he would know everything in the house, so it's hard to hide things, you know, when it's in that situation.
Yeah.
And plus, he isolated, like at this point, I had 2 stepsisters, they still lived in the town with me, but they wanted nothing to do with me because of him. So like they kind of abandoned me, everyone kind of abandoned me and turned their backs on me at this point.
And that's been a theme in your life, the feeling of abandonment.
Yeah. So they stopped talking to me. They stopped coming around. And before him, we were best friends. One my sister lived right next door to me.
Yeah.
And then one lived like 5 minutes from me. So like they just kind of turned their backs on me, and they wouldn't come around. They knew he was abusing me, but they didn't come check on me. Like everyone just kind of,
that's hurtful.
you know. And so at that point, you're by yourself. Like I didn't have no other family there. My dad he was still in Idaho. He didn't really know what was going on. I didn't tell him. Like I didn't tell no one. I just hid the bruises, you know. You didn't go out in public. And so when I got pregnant with Lucas, I had to stop practicing massage because they put me on, you know, bed rest. And well, that's when I found out he was cheating on me. And that's kind of when it all fell apart as far as our relationship. Like to me, that was the last straw. It wasn't that I was putting up with the abuse because I really didn't know. I didn't. At this point, they have you so beat down, you're just trying to get through the day. And the kids, it's awful. If anyone's ever been through abuse, it's awful. It's awful when your thoughts are just don't let the kids see, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's an awful thought to have.
Yeah.
So.
Because you're not necessarily feeling valuable enough that you alone are important enough to protect.
Yeah. And then I always, you know, like would justify it because he never really punched me. It's not like he punched me, he hit me. He would just throw me around, put me in chokeholds, you know, bodies. He did things like that. He never outright punched me or hit me. So I'd always be like, oh, well, you know, he doesn't hit me. And I'd always be like, I'm not afraid of him, but I was afraid of him.
Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't want everyone would always come to our house and like hang out and stuff, and I would never want them to leave. I'm like, please don't leave.
Oh,
you know,
you felt safe if someone else was there. You can see how fresh those painful feelings of abandonment still are in Angela's life. If you're somebody who has experienced this kind of abandonment, just know that there's hope and there's a path, and hang with us till the end of our podcast. So, 2 more pregnancies later, was there a moment when you were like, this, for me, I remember in my life, it was like a light switch where a light bulb came on. I was like, I have to get out of here and I have to protect my children. Did you have a moment like that?
Yeah. One day when I saw my Lucas, he was a toddler, and he was standing there watching Jerry, which his dad, my ex-husband, and Jerry was yelling. And I saw Lucas, and he was looking at his dad, and then he imitated his behavior. Oof. And when I saw him do that, that's when I knew.
That was it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm doing a disservice to my kids by allowing them in this situation, because they're going to grow up to be like this, and I did not want that for them.
So you got out of the situation with your 3 babies. I mean, your daughter's not a baby anymore.
Right. I had already sent her away to live with my brother. Okay.
So the 2 boys, you got out. Did you come to Dallas then? Is that when you came to Dallas?
Yeah, to get away. Because I had to come. Well, no, it took me a couple years to get away.
But because of the drugs you had been using, were you a little bit trapped in them?
Yes. So that's why I stayed. That's what kept me there longer, was the toxic cycle of drugs, because he knew that.
Yeah.
He would use that, and then he he would come and get the boys from me and kidnap them, and it would just drag me back, and then he would hold me prisoner in the house.
Yeah.
With bars on. I mean, it was bad.
Wow.
It was bad.
And then at some point, though, did you go to Nexus?
No. So I went to family violence shelters.
Okay.
And that's how I was able to get away. And then I came to Dallas, which is a big city. So he couldn't find me, and nobody knew me here.
Yeah.
So nobody could tell him, oh, I know where your wife is.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank God.
Yeah. So I came here and ended up, you know, it's hard to get out of that street life. It's hard to get out of the addiction, and it's hard to get out of that toxic cycle. I was still in it. And I tried coming here doing the same thing I was doing there, selling drugs for money, because that's
what you knew.
Yeah, and I didn't have anyone. I didn't have no childcare. I didn't have no money. I didn't have nothing to support myself. So that's what I was doing here. I'm an outsider here, and I was an easy target here. And so, very quickly, I started getting arrested.
Yeah.
And I felt like once I got arrested, I just kept getting arrested, and pretty soon.
And the boys would go where when you got arrested?
So, thank goodness Lexus moved here, my daughter. She moved here and came to live with me, so I had her here, so she would...
But she was still a teenager at that point.
No, she was in college. She had already graduated, and she went to Idaho, went to college, and then she was living in Salt Lake at the time, and she decided to come live here.
Yeah.
So thank goodness. God brought her here.
Yes.
He knew what was coming.
Has she forgiven you yet?
Yes. We have a very good relationship now. It took her a while to forgive me. Thank you. It took her a while to forgive me.
But she really did just save your boys. They would have gone to foster care.
She did.
And then somehow you made it to Exodus Ministries.
Yeah. Well, I went to prison first.
Okay. How many years?
I did a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I did a year and a half, and then I came out and went to Exodus.
Then you got your boys back.
Well, she had them. So when I got out, I was reunited with her and the boys, but she was angry with me, which is understandable. And took the boys when we went to Exodus, and then she got married and had a baby, so I have a grandson now.
So fun.
Yeah. And then, Exodus was a very hard program, but we made it through that program. And then when I was at Exodus,
that's where I hired you. Yay.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah. And I remember sitting right outside of this meeting room right there with the interviewing you.
I was not confident yet. I was still very.
You had really been beat down, for sure.
And prison beats you down even farther.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow. But you were still every bit... that you had those brains still in you, and the glow, the shine, and slowly that started emerging. And here, you were promoted pretty quickly. We did a car matching for you.
Yes.
What was your first car?
A Toyota Camry.
Nice.
2010.
Nice. You
it was
started
a great
taking
car.
college classes.
Yeah.
And then you got snatched up quick. I was a little mad at you, remember?
Yeah. That was a very hard conversation to have,
What?
Because it's not like I didn't like the job.
No. It was such a great opportunity. So you got hired into an accounting office.
Yes.
You learned a ton.
I did, but, was told that this is not the job for you, which it was not.
Yeah, but that was a while.
I was there for 2 years.
Yeah, and a lot of college classes.
Yes, I was getting my associates at the time.
Mm-hmm. So you've completed your associates.
I've completed my associates.
And?
I've almost completed my bachelor's. In December,
so
I will graduate with 4.0.
Yeah.
With my bachelor's in social work.
In social work, but you're already working
at Austin Street Center.
Yeah.
Doing case management with medical
people.
respite case management. Mm-hmm.
How about that?
I know.
For a minute, we talked about regaining your
massage
therapy, but I think this is where you were meant to be.
Yeah. Yes. I just have a passion for helping people. Eventually, I would really like to be a social worker for DV, for domestic violence survivors.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my heart is, because
amazing.
Being through it myself, I know, because going through it, you need somebody who's been there to understand what you're going through, because it takes those people. Because everyone, I can't stand people who judge people in those situations and are like, oh, she must like it. Oh, why doesn't she just get out? It's not that easy. It's not simple. It's very complex.
No, you get it. You get it at a very deep level. And you experienced, now, is your mom still with us?
Yeah, I've tried to reconnect with her. I've tried reaching out. She doesn't want nothing to do with me, I guess.
Yeah. And how do you reframe that? I mean, all these women, how do you reframe that? Because I can sit here and know the way they treated you had everything to do with them and nothing to do with you, because I know you, and I know your beauty inside and out, your brilliance. You're so smart. You're about to complete your bachelor's degree against all odds. And now your compassionate heart that just wants to help other women.
I don't understand it, to be honest.
It doesn't make any sense. But I hope you know it wasn't about you.
But at some point, I feel like at some point it had to have been a little bit. I mean, there has to have been something about.
I just can't. It was like sitting here with a mother's heart. I'm just like, I can picture you as a little girl, and you had you were worthy. You were worthy of love. You were worthy of so much more. And the fact that they didn't treat you as you should have, it's a sin. It's a crime. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
But maybe, I don't know. Do you ever think, well, God was just making me into who I am today? Or do you just think, shame on them? Or
no, I really don't. Consciously, I don't think I don't hold any. I'm not angry about it. Maybe subconsciously, I'm sure there's lots going on in there. I've been through a lot of counseling and stuff.
And your boys have.
Yes, since I've come since prison, we have been in counseling since then. So I've been through a lot of counseling, but I think a lot more of my trauma probably comes from the abuse
from your former
my ex
husband.
Yes,
yeah,
and probably from Cindy, who was the stepmom I had a lot, because a lot of verbal, she emotionally abused me a lot, telling me all these things about myself that.
And how are you able to just push eject on the things she said to you and discard them and replace them with truth?
They're so deeply embedded in me. It's still, like I said, it's still issues that I know I have because, well, I don't know. It's probably because I still self-sabotage sometimes when things start going really well, or, I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I still got issues there.
Well, I think we all have. I think we all have issues till the day we die. But
then also too, I think in my parenting, like as a mother to my children, I don't have a mom bond with a mom. So.
But you're very patient with your boys. It always amazed me. I haven't been around the boys as much lately, but. You're always full of grace for them, very patient, talking gently. When it's just you and the boys,
But it's just
sure
that,
you raise your voice.
That bond. I don't have a mom bond with a mom, so I don't really know what a mom bond, a strong mom, like you have, like me with Lexus, for example, my adult daughter, I have more of a friendship bond with her than probably maybe a mom bond.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay with me. I don't know if it's, and we have a great, because she's now in Buckner with me.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So she's gotten to move in. So until February, I have her right next door, which is amazing.
I love it.
So it's great. So
is she going to school?
Yes, she's going to school full time.
This is great.
So that's great. I just feel like I missed out on getting to have. I don't have that.
Do you have older women in your life?
I do. I still have my mentor that I got at Exodus, and then Miss Helene.
Oh,
no, Miss Helene, like me and her.
She was just at my house on Monday.
She's what's crazy is because she resembles my birth mom, and so I feel like God placed her in my life to take the place of, like, she fills that void in a way, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been great. Like, we have a little relationship and we see each other.
She's a winner. She's a keeper. I love it.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
Well.
So I've been doing great things.
Amazing things, and you're going to continue.
And yes, I applied for the master's program, so I got accepted into the master's program. I start in the spring.
She's going to rule the world any day now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not mad at you anymore for leaving me.
It only took 3 years.
And I'm glad that, I mean, we probably see each other, not as much as I would like to, but several times a year.
Yeah.
You got to be a part of the gala.
Yeah, that was great, huh?
I hope you'd be a part. Our next one's sapphire, silver and sapphire.
Oh, that'll be
bling,
pretty.
Bling. Yeah.
Nice. When is it?
April. Again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's our birthday month.
I know. So I couldn't be more proud of you. I mean, you are crushing it. And yet, you know, with every victory, I know there's a tinge of sadness, and that's just the way life is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we just claim the victories, and we just walk forward. And amazing that you're just lifting others up at your new job and in your future. I can just envision you just being a part of, you know, yesterday I got to go to the Dallas jail.
Oh, okay.
And speak with a group of
Nice.
inmates. And that's just, something like that just makes it all worth it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just giving hope and saying there's a path.
So are you going to try and do a ministry and go into the jails then?
It was a job force development program that asked me if I would come in and speak to them, because, you know, we hire second chancers.
Nice.
So I think I will get to do it probably several times a year.
I would like to go with you.
Yeah, for sure. I was a
okay.
mound of paperwork I had to fill out.
Oh, they might not want
get
me since I'm a
fingerprinted
felon.
and all kinds of stuff.
You know, being a felon kind of limits you.
It does, but also, it like you said, you have a profound understanding of what these women are going through, and you'll be so very powerful in their life. So if you had an audience, and today you do, what do you want to say to, let's say, your former self? Your former self, how old were you? Like 28 when you were in with your former husband?
Yeah, I was that
Okay.
age.
What do you want to say to women like your 28-year-old self?
That it's never too late. It's never too late to make a different choice, a better choice, you know? Like, because seriously, I stayed for a lot longer than I should have. And a lot of the reason, besides the fact that I was in an addiction, was because you just stick to the choice you made.
Yeah.
You know, you stick to that choice. I didn't want to have to admit I was wrong in making the choice to marry him. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, and it was like you felt like you just, this is what I did, this is the choice I made, now I got to stick it out and live that choice, you know? But we don't.
No,
we can always make a better choice for our
Reinvent
life, because this is
yourself,
our life,
make
you
a
know?
shift.
Yes.
Yeah. There
And
you go.
that's the best thing, is like we can always make a better choice. We don't have to stick to a choice. Like, if it's wrong, it's wrong. Like, if you're not happy. And another thing I did, like, you know, remember I told you the moment I knew I needed to leave? There was another moment. I had a dream, and in my dream I had remembered how happy, like, I had felt true happiness. I remembered before all the abuse started, I remembered true happiness of being with him and how good and happy I felt. And then when I woke up, I felt how I felt in that moment and the difference of how that felt. And I was like...
The contrast.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I cannot believe how different. And I was like, I can wake up every day feeling like this.
Yeah.
Or I can make a choice.
Make a change.
And make
you
a change.
did.
Yeah.
You did. Well, there you have it. The brilliant Angela, crushing life. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Turning Trauma into Triumph. Thanks for hanging with us to the end. We're so grateful. And as I promised, if you hung with us to the end, I want to tell you that if you email us at wellgroundedcoffeecommunity@gmail.com, we're going to send you a copy of our book that has Angela's story and many other of our baristas' story that are going to give you hope and encouragement for your future.